Hi, this is Daniel Hutchins, and today we are doing a special celebration video. We'll be doing a 140 subscriber special, and it is going to be a mega long article discussion. So, in celebration for the 4th of July. Yep, so for our first article we're going to be talking about DC's Nightwing movie from comicbook.com. So here we go. The Tomorrow War director Chris McKay still hopes to make DC's Nightwing movie. Now this was hot off the truck earlier today. So here we go. The Tomorrow War director Chris McKay still hopes to make his DC Comics movie about Batman protege Dick Grayson, the former Robin who grows up and flies solo as the superhero Nightwing. After directing the animated Lego Batman movie for Warner Bros., McKay in 2017 signed onto the studio's planned Nightwing movie. Scripted by the accountants Bill Dubuque, once described by the filmmaker as a badass action movie with a lot of heart and emotion. McKay's hopes for a Batman spin-off is not officially dead at Warner's, but not a priority for the studio behind coming heavy hitters like Batman, Black Adam, Aquaman, and The Lost Kingdom. Nightwing is still a movie that I really want to do. I love this character of Dick Grayson as a young adult, becoming his own kind of superhero character, McKay told Variety, ahead of the Chris Pratt sci-fi blockbuster The Tomorrow War. That was going to be the father and son story, and also a revenge movie, which I was really excited about because there's a lot going on in the script. It was going to be really primal and pared down like a real red meat movie in the best way. As if planned, the Nightwing movie is still taking flight at the studio, McKay said. There's not yet a firm commitment from Warner Bros. Quite yet, but I hope that it's something that we can still make. It has not been a priority these days. I'm hoping that it will become the priority soon, he said. That'd be my favorite thing to come out of all this stuff. McKay previously told the Bear Cave his movie is an introduction to Nightwing in the world of Bloodhaven, Grayson's home base of operations, located near Gotham City, and that there was going to be a lot of villains. Though Nightwing's a character study about the guy who grew up with a sort of bad dad, referring to Bruce Wayne, McKay said it was undecided whether Batman, played by Ben Affleck or another actor, would physically appear. It was like you were picking up a Nightwing comic. You're not guaranteed Batman was going to show up. He could show up, and other people could show up, but again, you're dealing with Nightwing here, and that's what I like about it, he said. So I like the idea we don't necessarily connect to certain things, but we can just have it be a story that takes place in Bloodhaven, or with Dick Grayson and his world. How he became Nightwing and why he became Nightwing. There was a lot of stuff I liked about the approach. The Tomorrow War is now streaming on Amazon Prime. So next on the agenda of things we're going to be talking about in this mega long article discussion, we're going to be talking about Abomination and Wong returning to Shang-Chi, as Marvel fans freaking out. Now this was a week ago, so the second trailer for Shang-Chi and the Legend 10 Rings made its triumphant debut on Thursday, and it left Marvel fans with quite a lot to be excited about. That was true down to the trailer's final seconds, which provided a look of a cage match tournament that appears to be the centerpiece of this film. As if the concept of that sequence wasn't cool enough, the two figures that were shown in this tournament took things to a whole nother level, with the Incredible Hulk and She-Hulk villain, Abomination, played by Tim Roth, going toe-to-toe with Doctor Strange fan favorite Wong, from Benedict Wong. The appearance of the fight has quickly taken the internet by storm, between fans celebrating Abomination's long-awaited MCU return and the fans speculating about the scene's implications for the larger franchise. Keep reading to check out a few of these responses. Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings stars Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, who must confront the past he thought he left behind when he drawn the web of mysterious Ten Rings organization. The film also stars Tony Leung as Wenwu, Awkwafina as Shang-Chi's friend Katie, and Michelle Yang as Jane Young, as well as Fala Chen, Mango Yang, Florin Mananu, and Ronnie Chang. So Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings is set to premiere in theaters on September the 3rd of 2021. So the Abomination is back in Shang-Chi. Give me a moment. So this was a tweet with a video from Twitter on June the 24th of 2021. Followed by another tweet, Abomination versus a sorcerer. Yay, Shang-Chi is already top tier MCU. This was also from June 24th. So again, there are a ton of tweets on Twitter. So if you want to check out Shang-Chi stuff on Twitter, check it out, guys. Check it out. So you can see it on comicbooks.com, but you can also, most especially, you should see it on Twitter, because there's all this clips and footage and stuff told about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So next, we're going to be talking about something else. But right now, my internet just crashed, so I have to fix it. So give me a few minutes, and I should come back online again. So, again, that's the trouble these days. Sometimes you're having so much fun on a video, and then you realize your network crashes, and then it's like, oh, what should you do? Yeah, try to reconnect it, duh. So again, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So, I'm trying to reconnect to my Wi-Fi, Netgear 27, to see if it works. Again, I had to connect to it so I can read these awesome articles to you. Okay, troubleshoot was complete, and I'm back. So, okay, so now we're going to be finding some more information, y'all. Okay, so next we're going to be talking more about James Gunn and the Suicide Squad. So, James Gunn, new behind-the-scene look at the Suicide Squad. This also is hot off the truck earlier this morning. Okay, so we're a little over a month away from the release of the Suicide Squad, but fans are continuing to get a steady stream of information about the hot upcoming DC comic film. As if magazine covers, comic books, toys, and merch, and upcoming guest stint by Wipeout weren't enough, writer-director James Gunn recently shared a behind-the-scenes look at himself and the film's cast standing on set in costume. The photos, which you can check out here on comicbook.com, feature Sean Gunn, Weasel, Pete Davidson, Blackheart, Mei Yang, Mongol, and Joel Kinnaman, Rick Flag, Jay Courtney, Captain Boomerang, Nathan Fillion, TDK, Gunn, Margaret Robbie, Harley Quinn, Fuller Berg, Javelin, and Michael Rooker, Savant. So there's this big picture down below from James Gunn, and you can also see it on Instagram. Hashtag the Suicide Squad. So in the Suicide Squad, welcome to hell, aka the prison we knew from the first one, Belle Reve, which is the prison with the highest mortality rate in the USA, where the worst supervillains are kept and where they will do anything to get out, even join the super secret, super shady Task Force X. Today's do or die assignment: assemble a collection of cons, including Bloodsport, Peacemaker, Captain Boomerang, Ratcatcher 2, Savant, King Shark, Blackguard, Javelin, and everyone's favorite psycho, Harley Quinn. Then arm them heavily up and drop them literally in a remote enemy-infused island of Corto Maltese. Okay, so the Suicide Squad will see a return of Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, Margaret Robbie as Harley Quinn, Joel Kinnaman as Colonel Rick Flag, and Jay Courtney as Captain Boomerang, from the OG original 2016 Suicide Squad. Joining them in the film or Polka Dot Man, King Shark, Ratcatcher 2, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, TDK, Blackguard, Javelin, Mongol, The Thinker, Savant, Salsolia, and Weasel. So you want to go to work with people who jump out of bed every day and want to go to work? Cena said in a previous interview. Gunn is at the epitome of that. He cares about so much and what he's doing, and I think especially when you get down to it, he's put in a position to write, develop, and do this by his rules essentially. He chose this franchise, he kind of dictated his terms, and now he's really betting on himself, and I hope everybody enjoys seeing it as much as we are. Enjoying making this because it's awesome. Are you excited about the Suicide Squad? Please let me know in my comment section. So there's going to be more, guys. There's going to be more. Because right now the time check is 11 minutes. So we are doing more. Yes. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. So I'm going to do some more articles. Okay. So next we're going to be talking about Chris Pratt uses 4 words to describe the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Actually, 3 words. So, this was hot off the truck on the 2nd of July. So Chris Pratt asked to describe the story of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in just 3 words, but he could only narrow his thoughts down to 4 words. James Gunn is back. Pratt was given the Guardians of the Galaxy 3-word challenge during an interview to promote his other big sci-fi franchise, the Amazon Tomorrow War. But given the history of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise the last few years, Chris Pratt could be packing a lot more deeper meaning and emotion in his statement that James Gunn is back. But just taking things on a surface level, that's an encouraging endorsement of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 from Chris Pratt. Disney had fired James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy in 2018 after old tweets Gunn had posted upwards of a decade before were collected and reposted from social media attempts. But in attempts to paint Gunn in a bad light, the firing became something of a cultural lightning rod about the boundaries and merits of cancel culture, and caused a massive backlash from fans of James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. Chris Pratt stood up for Gunn during that time, and as did Pratt's co-stars like Zoe Saldana and Dave Bautista, the latter of whom has been the most outspoken about how Disney handled this situation after things went down. Disney rehired Gunn in early 2019. It's that very situation that has pushed Guardians of the Galaxy 3 so far back. So on that front of things, fans also got the update from Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 shooting schedule. It's looking like it run late this year to the spring of next year, November through April. During a conversation on Twitter from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 banter between Rocket Raccoon and Ego, Gunn lets fans know he's already drawn the storyboards for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's actually made me laugh every time Kurt Russell said it, and as Rocket sadly touching his face afterwards, wondering if it really was shaped like a triangle, I'm drawing the storyboards right this moment for Volume 3 is a tedious task. It's good to be reminded of those enjoyable moments. But earlier this year, James Gunn let his fans know that he's already completed the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 soundtrack. Soundtrack is finished. Movie starts shooting end of year, so that's in the bag, at least. But there's one song that Gunn says we won't want to miss in the next soundtrack. 1,000 people have told them that they want Dancing in the Moonlight in the Guardians movie, and it seems hackneyed to me, so it's not going to happen. So that's kind of a bummer, because Dancing in the Moonlight's a fucking awesome song. And you hear it almost everywhere, so it's like, god damn. So okay, so now we're going to be doing another article. Alright. Okay. So now we're going to go jumping back to Suicide Squad again. So Suicide Squad, James Gunn picked Polka Dot Man because he's the dumbest DC character of all time. So this was from July the 1st of 2021. So previously only seen in the big screen in the background of Lego Batman movie, you remember Lego Batman movie, DC comic villain Polka Dot Man first arrived in Detective Comics 300 back in 1962 and has been only a laughingstock since that time. He'll get his due in the upcoming film The Suicide Squad, where actor David Dastmalchian will bring him to life. Speaking in a new interview, writer-director James Gunn revealed he decided on Polka Dot Man as one of the members of his version for Task Force X because he wanted to add a character thought as one of the dumbest ever. So Polka Dot Man is great, Gunn told Total Film. I went and I looked online, who's the dumbest DC character of all time? Polka Dot Man. We've turned that character who's a sad, pathetic character into a character who's depressed because people think he's stupid. But he has a very tragic story, and you learn about it throughout his film. To be able to add depth to a character who are thought as the silliest is a fun thing for me to do. Dastmalchian opened up with a swing of the character as well with the outlet, reflecting on the broken aspects of him and digging into them. I can tell you that my character, Abner, is someone who has lived a lifetime with a lot of pain, a lot of shame, a lot of solitude, because the condition he had. Dastmalchian said that condition was something that he decided at a certain point in time would be best suited to hurt other people, or at least perform acts of crime, so that he would get some vengeance against a cruel and unfair world. Things haven't gone great in Abner's life basically since day one. So as we find him enter in his story, he's somebody that he's never been a part of anything. So even a bunch of really broken misfits and criminals, he's maybe found as the first moments in his life where he's part of something. So joining Dastmalchian and his cast of Suicide Squad are Idris Elba's Bloodsport, John Cena's Peacemaker, Sylvester Stallone as the voice of King Shark, Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher 2, Michael Rooker as Savant, Flora Borg as Javelin, Peter Capaldi as Thinker, Nathan Fillion as TDK, Meg Ling Ying as Mongol, Pete Davidson as Blackguard, and Sean Gunn as Weasel. So the Suicide Squad releases in theaters and HBO Max on August the 6th. As said from some of my other videos that have talked about the Suicide Squad in the past. So okay, so now we are going to find some more, guys. Okay. We have to find more. Hold on. Okay. So, hold on just a second. I have to grab my computer charger because you don't want my computer to die in the middle of a long article discussion. That would be very bad. Okay, so now the Mandalorian actor confirms Book of Boba Fett will be a grittier show. This was from yesterday. Okay, so Star Wars universe is continuing to expand outward in some fascinating ways, particularly through the new series making their debut from Disney+. Among them was the Star Wars The Book of Boba Fett, a live-action series spinning out from the Season 2 finale of the Star Wars Mandalorian. This series is expected to provide more detail into the life of Boba Fett. And according to someone close to both live-action series, that will bring about a new change in tone. As stuntman and stand-between Brendan Wayne recently explained while on Star Wars Sessions podcast, The Book of Boba Fett will showcase the true nature of this iconic bounty hunter, particularly these ideas of him being all kill or no filler. I think that's what we want as an audience. I think we are going to get from The Book of Boba Fett, Wayne explained, is a lot more of that kind of feel. He gets even grittier than Mando did, but I feel like he doesn't have this choice because he really was a different kind of character. These echoes comments that Fennec Shand actress Ming-Na Wen recently made to comicbook.com, teasing that the personalities of the Book of Boba Fett will be differentiated from its predecessor. So probably there will be some similarities when teased. Totally, you know that Mando is very much a loner except for his relationship with Grogu. So just the dynamic that there's now a team between Boba and Fennec, I think that already creates a different quality for the show. Yeah, that's about all I can say though. So the Book of Boba Fett is expected to be in Disney Plus Christmas 2021. If you haven't signed up for Disney Plus yet, you can sign up now, because you don't want to miss the awesome content that's on Disney Plus, because it has good stuff. So next we are going to find another article, and the time check is 21 minutes. Okay, so now we are going to be talking about the best comics of 2021 so far. Okay, this was yesterday. The best comic books of 2021 so far. So 2021 is officially halfway over. The milestone of 4th of July weekend has led some to look back in the past 6 months of an unforgettable year. But for those in the realms of the comic book universe, the year so far has seen some significant evolutions, both in terms of how titles get to readers, and in terms of comics themselves, in and amidst and every grown members of events, relaunches, and highly anticipated first appearances. There have been some truly groundbreaking and creative titles, each of which illustrate exactly how much the medium of comics continues to be capable of. So comicbook.com has made a habit of highlighting some of the best installments, both through our weekly poll recommendations as well as our comprehensive reviews for each week of these new releases. But as we reach the midway point of the year, we wanted to spotlight the titles published in 2021 that have really stood out to us, and that definitely deserve continued praise in months to come. From ongoing series and miniseries to OGNs and manga, our staff has narrowed down the best titles of the year so far. So if you're looking for a new title to dive into your 4th of July vacation, or just want to build your readings for the remainder of 2021, we are here to help. Here are some of the comicbook.com staff's favorite titles from the first half of 2021. So first we got Asadora by Viz Media. I'm just going to read the titles, it saves time. Next one is Barba Alien, Red Planet Dark Horse. Next is Beta Ray Bill, Marvel. And next is Black Widow, Marvel. And next is Chainsaw Man, Viz Media. Next is Future State Dark Detective, DC. And next is Future State Kara Zor-El Superwoman, DC. If you want to read the descriptions, go to comicbook.com. I'm just reading the titles. So Heaven No Hell, Drawn and Quarterly. Iron Man, Marvel. Okay. Jonah and Uncrossable Monsters, Onipes. Okay. Jujutsu Kaisen, Viz Media. I'm trying to go really slow with my mouse so I can read all of them to you. Lady Baltimore, The Witch Queen, Dark Horse. Maniac of New York, Aftershock. The Many Deaths of Lalia Starr, Boom. Monsters, Fantagraphics. Nightwing, DC. Skulldigger and Skeleton Boy, Dark Horse. Spider-Man Spider Shadow, Marvel. Stray Dogs, Image. Ultra Mega, Image. Way of the X, Marvel. So there you go, guys. That is the list of the best comics so far for 2021 from Marvel, DC, Image, and more. So if you guys want to see more articles, well, I am still here. So I am going to be switching platforms, and I am going to be going to Screen Rants. So stick around, because I'm going to be doing some articles from Screen Rant. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about Spider-Man from Screen Rant. So what Spider-Man's new black and gold suit could look like from the No Way Home. So an artist has mocked up new posters using Spidey's new black and gold look from the recent movie of Spider-Man No Way Home merch, as reveals, and this was 8 hours ago. Okay, so new Spider-Man No Way Home fan posters has offered Marvel fans a glimpse of what Peter Parker's new costume could look like in the next film. While this leads up to the MCU's third Spidey film, a lot has said that the multiverse characters from previous iterations of this franchise, the infamous Marvel shrouded secrecy, has still managed to keep the film plotly tight under wraps, but a recent series of tie-in merchandise reveals including few new costumes of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but has sent fans into a frenzy of speculation in this continued absence of a proper trailer for his film. Okay, so ever since this character's MCU introduction in Captain America Civil War, the continued evolution of Spider-Man's costumes has paralleled to continued journey towards becoming one of Marvel's greatest heroes. When Tony Stark first approached him to assist facing off against Cap and the Rogue Avengers, Parker has already made his mark in New York as friendly neighbor Spider-Man from his homemade suit of his own designs. But however, Stark was quick to outfit him in the first in series with more advanced suits that incorporate the same technology from Stark Industries. If not till then, Spider-Man Far From Home, however, has had fans that see Holland's character create a black and red suit completely by himself, using the equipment of Stark's private jet. And of course Happy was there too. But related to this article is Spider-Man toys have tried and failed as they hide multiverse clues. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. So, now off back to the new costume reveals, thanks to a first looks of Spider-Man No Way Home, associated merchandise. Fans know now that Peter Parker will continue to improve his signature looks for the upcoming prequel, aside from the integrated suit, which appears to be a combination from the Far From Home look in the Iron Spider armor. This tie-in merch also teases that Peter Parker will also be done in a unique black and gold suit. We-owned fan artist Boss Logic has taken this new look one step further and has mocked up a poster to lure fans' appetites until a trailer finally drops. You can check out poster here on ScreenRant.com. Okay, so you can also see Boss Logic. There's this pretty awesome photo of the new suit from No Way Home on Instagram. Alright, so fans are already busy at work theorizing how Spidey's fresh new looks fit into the film plot. A dramatic black and gold look certainly raises more than a few questions. While Holland's Spidey may certainly still be using Stark Tech to build himself lots of suits, much of his late mentor once did, there is the chance this black and gold look may not even be worn by Holland himself. Though with Alfred Molina's Doc Ock and Jamie Foxx's Electro confirmed to appear, this inclusion of the multiverse has been hyped to a major plot points from the No Way Home. It's entirely possible that the black and gold Spidey could be from an entirely different timeline altogether, which is very, very possible. While many Marvel fans thought that WandaVision could be a series responsible for introducing the concepts of multiverse in MCU, it turns out the latest Disney Plus series, Loki, was one to confirm the existence of multiple versions of the same character throughout Loki the Time Varies Authority, which has been working to prune any variations or variants from the sacred timeline. But it would seem that by the time the series ends, all bets will be off. However, it happens that the MCU fans will be busy trying to connect the dots to figure out as much as they can with Spider-Man No Way Home's December holiday release. So, okay. So there you go, guys. That is just some information about Spider-Man's new black and gold suit that could be appearing in his new movie No Way Home. So now we are going to find something else cool to talk about. So now we're going to be talking about one of my all-time faves, Green Arrow. So Green Arrow finally proves to the Justice League is wrong to ever doubt him. So after the Justice League forced Green Arrow to stay behind to guard a watchtower, he takes an army of alien invaders alone with his own bow and arrow. So this was hot off the truck just 15 minutes ago, y'all. So warning, spoilers for Green Arrow 80th Anniversary 100-page Super Spectacular. So Green Arrow has just proved that the Justice League severely underestimates him. But Green Arrow has always been something as a B-list hero, compared to the likes of DC more powerful cosmic heroes like Superman. But even compared to Batman, Green Arrow has always been seen as lesser. But Oliver Queen has even referred to himself as simply the guy with the bow. It's belittling, and clearly Oliver is demoralized from Justice League members thinking they're on a higher plane than he is. But now in Green Arrow 80th Anniversary 100-page Super Spectacular, the Justice League set out to space and asked Green Arrow to stay behind. He has had enough of being underestimated and gets annoyed with Superman when approached to guard the Watchtower. If it were a mission on Earth against regular criminals, that's one thing, but the Justice League would probably send him. When it comes to fighting cosmic threats in outer space, he is useless and is benched. However, the tables turn in this issue of the Green Arrow as he proves his worth. Wow. So, now there's this other article that's related. A dead DC superhero has returned with a major cosmic upgrade. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. So in Who Watches the Watchtower by Stephanie Phillips, Chris Mooneyham, and Mike Spicer, Green Arrow takes on an alien invader attempt to break into the Watchtower. From out of nowhere, an army of aliens attack the Watchtower, presuming looking for the Justice League. However, they come face to face with the Green Arrow, who is shocked to see them. Right away, Oliver gets to work, and as he blasts his arrows into the front lines of aliens. Next, an alien ship takes Oliver in his tentacle arms and brings him closer. He proceeds to smash his eye with an arrow. In reaction, the creature flings him in display full of ancient artifacts. And here, Green Arrow picks up a supercharged bow and arrow and delivers the final blow to the cosmic threats. So it's pretty awesome. So again, the Green Arrow's actions prove that he doesn't need the Justice League's help, and that he is a greatly skilled fighter who can take on cosmic villains. If it highlights anything at all, it's that Oliver would greatly benefit with an upgraded bow and arrow. This issue could be seen as DC acknowledging Green Arrow's sideline in his past. Now the tables have turned in DC's main timeline, as the Green Arrow has become a greater part from the Justice League. This partially because Green Arrow is now richer than Batman, so he's financing the League's activities, but also because he's much more respected than just being a guy with a bow and arrow, unlike his standalone issue. So that's pretty awesome. Again, I say that is fucking awesome. But to top everything off, with the Justice League return to the Watchtower, they realize that something's happened. Superman inspects some burn marks and Hawkman gets angry about his priceless helmet being broken. At which point they all line up together like they had, or like his parents, and ask him what happened. It's hilarious that the superpowered Justice League see themselves as the authority figures, even over one of their own members. However, Green Arrow sits unfazed as he smugly sips his coffee. Green Arrow 80th Anniversary 100-page Super Spectacular is on sale now in your comic book store. So if you love the Green Arrow, and I mean fucking love the Green Arrow, then pick up the 100-page Super Spectacular at your comic book store, because that is a Green Arrow book that you have to have. So I'm saying, that is just awesome though. But again, it's Green Arrow, and he has proven his worth to the Justice League and proven Superman wrong, which is awesome. So now we're going to be doing another article, and the time check is 36 minutes. Okay, so now X-Men's Magneto is already turning from hero back to villain. So, okay, longtime X-Men foe Magneto was a complex character from torn between hero and villain, but it seems that he prefers the dark side more. Okay, so warning, there are spoilers for Guardians of the Galaxy 15 ahead. Magneto is one of the most compelling characters in the X-Men. After all, the Master of Magnets is the supervillain with a tragic backstory and lofty, even admirable intentions. Though he's often associated with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Magneto has been a hero several times in his history, most recently in the Dawn of X reboot. However, with the trial of Magneto from the horizon, Magneto's time as a hero may be coming to another end. So, Magneto has long been depicted as more hero than villain during the original Secret Wars. Magneto was included alongside the heroes because of his goals to help mutants, and Secret Wars helped cement his heroism for a long time. Magneto fought alongside the X-Men after the storyline concluded, but he even took over Professor X's school and when Charles left Earth, mentoring the New Mutants for a time. However, this proved temporary, as Magneto has beset by problems both inside and out. He ultimately returns to his past. Though he remains a villain, Magneto would still help the X-Men from time to time, and eventually return to their side during Utopia storylines. He is established as a member of the Quiet Council in the House of X, and has been a powerful player on Krakoa ever since. Okay, so related to this article is X-Men Magneto and Professor X secret team get the perfect name. We're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. So from the Guardians of the Galaxy number 15 by Al Ewing and Juan Puglia, Magneto encounters Nova as the Guardians of the Galaxy plan to attend the Hellfire Gala to recruit Dr. Doom. However, Nova is done shaking hands with supervillains. Leading a brief battle between Nova and Magneto, after Abigail Brand ends their fight, Magneto and Nova talk about finding common ground. Magneto reflects on his past, saying to find answers we learn, we grew to be evolved. Sometimes that we met compromise, what we found for is in reach, or a mutant future or a peaceful galaxy, but this road here took a toll on us. It left scars, so that simpler time pulls us in. The weaker moments a magnet. Okay, so there's a picture down below here, followed by more information. So on the surface, both Nova and Magneto seem to long for simple days. Nova reflects on being saved by mortal enemy Annihilus and working alongside the Skrulls, while Magneto refers to the Brotherhood as swashbucklers. However, this is more than simple nostalgia for either the men or both, or seen struggling between what was and what is. Perhaps most tellingly, though, Magneto's comparison as his tension as a magnet shows he is increasingly tempted to return to his swashbuckling days. And his brief fight with Nova shows he will easily clash with those he believes oppose him and his cause with the slightest provocation. So all this precedes the Hellfire Gala, which ends with Magneto being held responsible for the murder of the X-Factor number 10. This kicks off the trial of Magneto, which will have far-reaching implications for both the X-Men and the rest of the Marvel Universe. Whether he was guilty or innocent, it seems Magneto is eager to return to the simple days of his dark past. Just how this will stand with the X-Men remains to be seen in the books. Alright. Time check right now is 41 minutes. So I'm going to be doing 2 more articles and then I'm going to close it out. Alright. Alright. So, next article is Marvel's new Thanos is actually a fan-favorite member of the X-Men. Thanos' god complex and arrogance is well documented, but a villainous turn for X-Men's Beast reveals the startling similarities between the two. This was hot off the truck 11 hours ago. Warning, spoilers for Wolverine number 13 are ahead. It may seem like X-Men's Beast and Thanos have nothing in common, but a startling new development in Marvel Comics is bringing them closer than ever before. One of the brainiest members of the X-Men, Beast is known for his intellect, leadership, and diplomacy, alongside his distinctive appearance. Beast always has mumankind's best interests at heart, but his concern has just taken a Thanos-like turn for the worse, firmly cemented as a new villain in the X-Men comics. In Wolverine number 13, Beast admits that he had been keeping the mutants on Krakoa and Chegg, though mind control, and, as in fact isn't bad enough, Beast has defended his actions by making grandiose statements about how Krakoa is more than a nation. It is a god. Utilizing language eerily similar in which applied to Thanos and Jim Starlin's Infinity Gauntlet saga. Despite his unethical decisions and practices, Beast feels no remorse for what he has done, exemplifying a trait that both the Infinity Gauntlet Thanos and his MCU counterpart showcase to a great length. Okay, so related to this article, the true name of Thanos revealed by Marvel Comics. We're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. So Beast's perspective about mind control and Krakoa, mutant propulsion, has revealed his lofty ambitions and arrogant paternalism that eclipse any chance of him to seriously consider the ramifications of his actions. By becoming a Thanos-like in his beliefs, Beast exemplifies the ethos of this current age of X-Men stories. With the usual slate of villains no longer a threat to him, this isolation of Krakoa has exposed the grown evil that already exists within humankind. Instead of evil appearing in the form of purple aliens from outer space, it has now revealed itself the familiar face of a friend, seen in Beast's villainous descent as a character. Okay. Which defines Thanos as a villain. Aside from his plans to destroy half of life in the universe, and his attitudes which are mirrored by Beast in Wolverine number 13. Despite being one individual, Thanos sees himself as above all living things. endowed with knowledge and a perspective where only he is able to guide the universe towards favorable fate. Worse, he disguises this arrogance behind a tragic facade, as if taking on the role makes him a selfless hero. In justifying his decision to spy on Krakoans, Beast says Krakoa is a god, and if you want people to believe in you, and you feel you like a god, you need to be omniscient. We need to spy our goal in long-term survival. Remember, Beast frames his invasion of Krakoa's free will as a decision that is critical to mutant survival, placing an onus on himself as the hand guiding toward the mutants toward a better future. Disenfranchisement, which means are deliberately left in a dark about, is done with the knowledge that Beast has taken on a godlike position on the island. Like Thanos, Beast sees his actions as necessary for the betterment of people he never consulted from in the first place. Thanos' decision to wipe out half of the universe's life is inarguably horrible. But again, what makes Beast's decision to mind control Krakoa was even more reprehensible is that he betrays the trust of the entire mutant community. Like Thanos, Beast sees criticism of his actions as evidence that he's right. He says, "I'll be that bastard. I'll take the blame. I'll earn the hate, if that's what saves us from annihilation." Beast's shamelessness makes him not only delusional, but a tyrant hiding in Krakoa's shadows. This turn for Beast showcased an awful truth about Krakoan society. When given the opportunity for self-determination, mutants have found more ways to oppress each other. It is a shame that a population as vulnerable as mutants have been unable to experience true freedom on their own island. But with more trouble and secrets coming to light, there is still hope that the jolly veneer of Krakoa can be discarded altogether. Alright, so last article we are going to be talking about is Spider-Man attended the X-Men school as a child. Alright, so Spider-Man taught some classes at the X-Men school. But did you know a different version of him actually attended the school as a child? This was from last year. So, one of the Marvel Universe's coolest superhero headquarters is X-Men's X-Mansion, publicly known as the Charles Xavier School of Gifted Youngsters. The school actually trains both new and seasoned mutants in the use of their powers and prepares them to protect the world that fears and hates them. While originally limited to mutants, this school has opened its doors to a more diverse population, and even the non-mutant Spider-Man has guest lectured at some of X-Men's schools. What is not so commonly known is that it's another version of Spider-Man, the Miguel O'Hara Spider-Man, that actually attended Xavier's Westchester School as a child. The story took place in Marvel's alternate 2099 future, and has revealed that the X-Mansion went through some major changes in that timeline. Okay, so related to this article, Spider-Gwen proves she should be Spider-Man's true successor. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. So readers were first introduced to Miguel O'Hara as an adult from the original Spider-Man 2099. A geneticist for a powerful Alchemax Corporation, Miguel was groomed for childhood to be one of the company's best and brightest employees. When he was forced to perform unethical and lethal genetic experiments on humans, however, Miguel tried to quit Alchemax and was tricked into consuming a highly addictive drug that forced him to keep him from working for the company, as if it is the drug's only legal supplier. Okay, to shake his addiction, Miguel performed a genetic experiment on himself and accidentally developed spider powers that turned him into the new Spider-Man of year 2099. At first horrified by his condition, Miguel later decided to use his new abilities to secretly fight against the many social injustices perpetuated by Alchemax. Ironically, though, Miguel continued to work for Alchemax and tried to reform the company from the inside. Okay, so Miguel's twisted relationship with Alchemax was explored further in a series of backup issues which featured entitled Young Miguel O'Hara, taking place during Miguel's early teens. The storyline began with Miguel learning that his high IQ test has earned him placement in Alchemax's special program for the gifted. This also granted Miguel's family a wealthier lifestyle, founded by Alchemax, which made his abusive father, George O'Hara, very happy. Miguel's mother, Conchata, on the other hand, was convinced that Alchemax would turn her son into a monster. Related to this article is Marvel's future Hobgoblin has the coolest costume ever. We're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. But Miguel and readers got a surprise when they learned that the new school was Charles Xavier's old mansion. According to the Tyler Stone, the head of Alchemax, Xavier's school has been destroyed multiple times during the last century, but it kept rising up like the phoenix. Now, another one of Alchemax's many properties, the school was renamed the Alchemax School for Gifted Youngsters, and used to train young geniuses to be the future Alchemax employees. Okay, although the school has appeared to have been rebuilt from the ground up, it turns out Alchemax had managed to discover to salvage some of X-Men's old technology, including the solid light holograms from their danger room. Miguel discovered this when he sarcastically asked for a pony. Knowing that horses were all but extinct in 2099, following an epidemic, however, the headmistress Angela Daskalakis later programmed a holographic simulation of a horse for Miguel to ride in a refurbished danger room. Miguel promptly informed her that he was scared of horses and ran out of the room. Whether or not Alchemax's version of the Danger Room could create the kind of high-tech threats the X-Men faced remained unknown, but the Miguel himself never learned about the school's original occupants. Indeed, aside from the advanced holographic technology, which also used by instructors to teach remotely, this school seemed devoid of any mention of the X-Men. At one point, Miguel humorously wore a Star Trek-style uniform in the dormitories as if he was a cadet of the Starfleet Academy, showing how completely clueless he was about the school he was really attending. But while the school was apparently finally free of Sentinel attacks and annual explosions, Miguel soon found that it still offered plenty of dangers. On his first day, he became the target of Kron Stone, a sadistic bully, the son of Tyler Stone. Kron harassed Miguel mercilessly, dumping water on his head and beating up his little brother on Vision Day. From one point, he actually tried to drown Miguel in a school swimming pool. Related to this article, Thor is a malicious messiah in Marvel's future. Not all of Miguel's experiences were negative. He met his first girlfriend and future wife, Xena Kwan, at the school. He also gained some genius respect from headmistress Daskalakis, and was one of the few people not afraid of Kron's powerful connections. She even went on so far as to break Kron's nose after she learned that he had been bullying Miguel. He received a first-rate education in genetics and science, although this was all done just to make him feel more valuable. Future employee for Alchemax. Okay, so Miguel's greatest lesson was one he learned outside his classes. After mercilessly picking on Miguel for weeks, Kron Stone turned his attention to Xena and assaulted her in the girls' showers. Miguel heard her screams and came to her defense, only for Kron to nearly stab him to death. The experience terrified Miguel so much that he almost refused to testify against Kron during his hearing, but he eventually discovered the courage to stand up to who's bullying Trick Ron and confessing for his crimes in front of the school board, resulting in Ron's expulsion. While difficult as the experience may seem, helped develop Miguel's innate heroism, which he would later express as Spider-Man. Notably, while mutants did still exist in 2099, Miguel never encountered any of the Alchemax School for Gifted youngsters, or was unaware of any mutants he'd met. But the 2099 version of X-Men turned out to be a ragtag team of underground dissidents who moved secretly from place to place and wouldn't have had much use for the old X-Men mansion anyway. Ironically though, Spider-Man may have been the former mutant school's only superhero graduate. So there you go, guys. That is some interesting information from last year that I just wanted to close up for you guys about Miguel the Spider-Man 2099. And so yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your 4th of July. And I'm going to be doing a couple more videos maybe throughout the day. I might do about a few more, I don't know yet. But again, stay tuned for my next video. And again, you guys, make sure you hit a thumbs up if you like my content, and subscribe, and have a wonderful rest of your holiday. Bye.